What is up, everybody? So, yeah, we got 6.5 info. What else happened? They're making a fluffy plushie, so that's gonna be a thing. Saito, for some reason, is the most 120'd 4-star in the game, which, you know, part of that I think is because he was rated up, and everything that was like the most 120'd was things that were recently rated up. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's like recent bias, and then also just ability to get their fucking coins. So, like, if you were a big Gil fan back in the day and you rolled on Gil, that doesn't mean you rolled for enough copies of Gil back then to meet the coin system, right? So you might have you'd be like, oh, I got an NP2, I'm happy with that. Where if the coin system had existed, might have gone, you know, for a higher NP rank, stuff like that. And then the only, I think, servant that was on the top 5 of most Grail to 120 that wasn't rated up recently was Saber Alter. And I think the reason for that, and I'm almost positive this is the reason for that, is because not very many people have 120s anyway. Like, for real, most people just don't have 120s yet. It's too hard to do. Pretty much only whales have 120 right now. There's a few exceptions, but it's mostly whales. And whales roll story from time to time, and I think a lot of whales over the years, which I think are making up the bulk of who have 120s right now, have just rolled story enough over the years that they've gotten a bunch of Saber Alter copies. And because Artoria is so popular and Saber Alter is really popular, that's like the go-to one that a lot of them will grail. But she's obviously not that high on the list. She was like number 5, I think. I think she was the lowest one. She was 5 or 4. But the reason she's the only one that's not a recent rate up, I think, is because it's basically just whales. Almost every whale ever will have her, and they'll have her, if they mean to or not, at a really high NP rank, so they have the coins. And then a lot of people like Artoria, so I think that's why. Yeah, they didn't list the 5 stars, but I think it would be the same thing. It would be only the ones that are recent. Because, again, you might be like the biggest Jolter fan, but you haven't had the opportunity to get Jolter coins, right? So you can't take her to 120 unless you happen to, you know, roll on her, you know, to NP5 and you have her at like Bond 13 or some crap, but that's not going to be most people. Yeah, I think it would be Oberon and Morgan and stuff like that because they're after the coin system and they're popular, so they're in really good shape. Like, you might see Jolter and Gil on the list just because they're that popular, but it's not going to represent their actual popularity because you just don't have the chance to get their coins. Anyway, as for the 6.5 event, it wasn't really clear if it's going to be like Solomon or not, where like the main story is permanent, but it might be. It kind of looks like that might be the case. And there's going to be raids. I'm so pissed about this though. There's a raid, one raid a day for like several days in a row. And that means each individual raid is not meant to last that long. Like, it's not even gonna last 24 hours and not even close, right? If they're starting the next raid the next day, there's just no way each raid's gonna have a lot of health. And each raid for every single day starts at 4 a.m. for me. So by the time I'm, you know, up and able to play FGO, I think I'm gonna miss every single raid. I don't think I'm gonna get to do a single one of them. And I think a lot of people aren't gonna get to do a single one of them. So that's pretty fucking lame. I wish spread them out more and they had more health so each raid might, you know, last like, you know, a day or two. That would be nice. Also, yeah, we have a dead week. The event didn't actually start. We have to wait about a week. So we had a dead week at the start of December, and now we have almost a full dead week here. So they absolutely could have done the Karna rerun or let the lottery run longer, either one. Let's see what else was there. No announcements of like quality of life updates or animation updates or any of that. Although sometimes they don't announce animation updates on stream. Many times they don't mention an animation update, but then one happens anyway. So we'll just have to see. The new units, one of them is, I think, Chinese, and I don't know that much about them. Something to do with fishing or something, but I'm not the most knowledgeable about Chinese stuff. And then the other one is another Dwagon, so we're getting more of that. At least their NP, though, is not CGI, and it's actually drawn, so that's the thing. And I assume Vinch is going to get a rate up, we'll see. He kicked Tam out of China. That's pretty fitting, then, that... Man, I wonder if he's going to be the villain, then, actually, because he's kind of got the mischievous... look about him, so I wonder if he's gonna be the main bad guy and not Vinch. That'd actually be awesome. I don't, like, Vinch is too obvious. That'd be kind of interesting. I don't mind the dragon. Some things I like. She has an axe, and a fairly normal axe, so I'm big on that. That's good. And she's not a berserker, so that's a good sign for the future. The dragon looks cool. My issue is, one, it's kind of a needless gender bend, where they could have just, there's so many actual, you know, women in legend and history they could have used, so that's kind of annoying. But then, like, she's got two, like, for the most part, she's got a, you know, pretty straightforward design, badass dragon and everything, but they gave her, like, this overly cutesy face, and I'm just like, that doesn't really fit. When you want to see, like, axe murderer, I don't want a, you know, cutesy anime girl face. Like, need more blood axe in this game, man. But anyway, but she's alright, we'll see. I'll have to see, like, her actual character in normal animations. We only saw the NP. I think this might be Surtur right here. Dude, I'm ready for Blood Axe animation update. Like, I'm super ready for that. But what I really want is a coup rate up. That's everything else is secondary right now. One of these days. Okay. Man, I need to level another archer. Oh, I did. Excuse me. Wow, I totally forgot about Atalante since a while ago. Like, we haven't used her a single time, and we've had multiple times where we needed an archer. I just completely forgot that we had Atalante. Don't know how I accomplished that one. Must be the NP1 camouflage. Guess she'll be my emergency archer there. Got a Rosh as well. I'm not sure that's gonna do much though. Let's see, if this is Surtur, I want to say there's debuffs. Do I start with Martha? That's not too bad. I need Martha not to explode. Do that. So chat, for those of you that have seen the new units, what are your all's thoughts? I don't mind them. I think they're better than what we normally get. But I do need to see their normal animations and stuff, so. George isn't particularly good here. Do Hans. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I don't mind them. I am really glad though that they did not use a 3D render for the dragons, and I think the reason is just because they know it would look too bad on a dragon, and that's why I think some of the other dragon sprites they've done were actually drawn. Because man, they do a lot of 3D renders these days, but like Virtua's sprite and stuff's not. Although I bet you they're I really bet you they're repurposing Virtua's NP sprite, and they're just like, you know, using it as like a base skeleton, and then they're putting a skin on it. I really do think that's what they're gonna do. I didn't look carefully, but that would not surprise me. What do I give her? I guess this. Alright, off we go. Do I bring Atlas? Yeah, I fear the debuffs. But yeah, I don't know why they ignore a lot of actual female heroes and stuff, and they just gender bend. I don't know why they do that. I think it's because, one, sometimes they want the name recognition of something. That's not the case here, though. That's definitely not the case here. And then sometimes I think they just like, you know, being wacky, and also, like, they'll look at whatever their story is, and like for this one, I think they're gonna try to pick, you know, things that are related to either Tam or things that aren't human and stuff like that. Okay, this is not Surtur. This is just Surtur. But, you know, the whole monster connection thing. So they look for that, and so that limits their options. And then so if all the characters that are available are male, they'll just gender bend, right? Instead of bringing in something, you know, they could have used, like, you know, Largartha or whatever. Alright, so we got crit down from Brunhilde. taunt would have been really good here. Oh boy, is Martha useless right now. Guess I'm gonna save David's evade. Alright, I'm gonna use this right away. The stars. Too bad he didn't get any NP gain there. Oh, he does debuff, right. Got a gimmick here. I guess I go ahead and David NP. I can remove his debuff immunity, but I actually don't want to do that. I do not want David skill sealing him, so that debuff immunity is actually nice for me. Oh, skill seal. What an ability. And I want him casting something because I want to be able to remove something more useful with Martha later. That way Zigguard wastes his action. I don't find Lostbelt 2 to have that much filler, to be honest. I mean, it certainly has it. I mean, like, most of the stories do. Like, Lostbelt 5-2 is one of the only ones that doesn't. But I don't find it worse than, like, 1 or, you know, 4 or even 5-1. I think 5-1 is actually crazy bad about filler. I guess I just... Can I art chain and do 29k? Let's not risk it. Yeah, I will say overall this year, I was not particularly happy with most of the service that they added. Not a lot of variety, not a lot of stuff up my alley. Things felt really weird, just to be weird, a lot of that stuff. There was a few good ones though, it wasn't all bad. But it's not been my favorite year for FGO servants. Okay, I think we remove buffs now, get rid of the crit stuff. Guess I Brave Chain? Could do pretty good damage. Yeah, Percival was really good. It wasn't all bad. I'm not saying every server this year was bad, by no means, but, I mean, for God's sake, there wasn't a single 3-star. Like, how am I, like, what the fuck? And like, that was true for last year as well, but yeah, we've gone 2 years, over 2 years, with not a single 3-star. Of course, I'm not gonna be enthralled with their servant choices, because the 3-stars are normally the more grounded designs, normally more faithful to the source material and stuff like that, and that's what I like, so... Yeah, Ricky was the last 3-star, which is completely absurd, but it is what it is. I could do Atlas on Napoleon here. I think we wait. Somebody's got to get their NP. I guess we do David Brave Chain, even though Napoleon's got crits there. Percival is probably my favorite servant they've added this year, I would say. Off the top of my head, he's leaps and bounds ahead of everything. I can't think of anything else that really keeps up. Yeah, there's some other ones I don't mind. You know, I don't mind Burgess and stuff, but I don't like Super Hyper. I think if there's anything near Percival that came out this year. I don't think so. I can NP with David, but I don't think that is necessary. 57k, although we got a really bad hand. I'm gonna go ahead and do this on David because I don't want him dying. Why did Martha have to take all of the cards? Well, just crit. 50, 30, what? Yeah, 40, 30, 50, okay. Come on, there you go. Can at least break next turn now. I actually really didn't like most of the Lostbelt 6 servants. Too weird and just like taking what's established and making it not that. Alright, David, don't die this turn and we're good. You know what? I actually care so much about that, I'm gonna do the invulnerability. Oh, what is wrong with me? Ryoma was cool, but, you know, it's not exactly new because, let's be honest, Ryoma is basically exactly the same as his writer version when it's not the evil one, so, I don't know if I'd consider that a new character, but, you know, they were cool, and they always were cool, so there's, like, another good one. Alright, time to go Burr. Look at him at 97%. I could give a, If I give cooldown reduction to Martha, she'll remove the dodge and heal. I'll go for it. Baby heal though, because I didn't rank it up. I don't want to skill seal, but I'm worried David will die if I don't NP with him right now. Well, taking a risk. We win next turn if this, no one dies here. Well, Martha can die, but as long as Napoleon and David live, I think we got it next turn. Yeah, this song's really loud. Ooh, that was so close. We would have died if it wasn't for Martha's heal. Okay, just yeet the guts. Get that out of here. Big buffs. We might beat this with no one dying. She does defense down. There we go. Might do it. Yeah, I would have really preferred regular Morgan. I really did not care for Lostbelt Morgan because they basically just made an OC and slapped Morgan's face on it. $175. Yeah, he did. He would have lived if he had kept his guts, but Martha took care of that. Actually, Martha ended up being good here. She removed debuffs twice, and she got rid of the quick buff from the break bar and the guts there, so that was pretty good. Oh, I need to bring Babbage. I need to get Babbage Bond to get his NP upgrade. I did all the strengthening quests, but to get his NP upgrade, you have to do a regular like interlude, and you have to be Bond 4. And I haven't actually done that yet. I mean, they have Mev. Mev's pretty bad. And Kiara, she's pretty bad. Although, since she was released, they have definitely tried to make Mev more likable. Although I don't think they've succeeded in that in my book, but they are definitely. This is not unique to FGO. This is kind of, you see this in anime a lot, and hell, you actually see it in media beyond anime. But it's very prevalent in anime where if they're going to make a really bad person, you know, like a cutthroat, something like that, it's pretty much always going to be a guy, right? It's pretty rare that you make the female characters that are evil pure, you know, really bad. They don't normally do that. But really, Fate doesn't make a lot of pure bad characters at all, male or female. They really don't. There's only a few, and that just kind of is what it is. But actually, some of the few really shitty ones in Fate are female, like absolutely. Like Kiara and Mev are pretty awful. I guess Dude's got Columbus. He's pretty bad. Yeah, I guess Shinji, but he's not an FGO, but, and even he's not as bad as a lot of the other characters. Zoken's pretty bad, although I guess he got redeemed at the end a little bit. Even oh no, Doorman's pretty bad. You know, Doorman's pretty bad. They make the playable one nicer, but they always do that. His actual, like, canonical, you know, stuff in the main story, he's pretty bad. Yeah, Gilius is really bad. Yeah, Gilius is... it's pretty bad. Although he does he does regret right at the very end when he's dying in Fate Zero. You know, he kind of has a moment there, but that's not a lot. Yeah, Carmella's pretty bad. She is nicer in FGO, but her like canonical character material and whatnot, she's pretty bad. She's not as bad though as like even Mev and Kiara though, like definitely not. Gorgon's pretty bad. People like to act like Gorgon's not bad. Gorgon is really fucking bad. There's really no redeeming qualities for Gorgon. She's quite evil. You know, Medusa's fine, but Gorgon, not so much. Oh, this is probably Surtur. Well, you know what? We'll give Calamity Jane a go here, see what happens. There's our big fire giant. Yeah, honestly, when I think about it, Fate really doesn't shelter their females from being terrible people. Like, they kind of just shelter everyone, right? They don't do a lot of straight terrible people, no matter what. But yeah, they've got some scumbags for both, I would say. I think some people, it's more like the players whitewash. I think the characters more so than the game. Alright, I think this one you either have to break the first health bar or just last a while. Pretty sure. I know later on he's debuff immune for his first health bar only, and then after that he's only mental debuff immune, so I'm not sure what he is right now. Oh, we'll do the attack. Well, okay, we'll find out if he's debuff immune or not. Okay, he is not. So it's mental debuff. He doesn't have his NP, so I might as well cast... Actually, I should cast David's second skill next turn for the baby heal. It could matter. Yeah, original Jolter was really bad. Maybe sympathetic in how she got that way, but yeah, she's really terrible in Orleans in like the first Christmas event. Okay, I might just remove his buffs right now. I don't even know what that timer one is, but fuck it. We're just gonna get rid of all this. Wish I had a way to get stars, but we do not. I do wish he had gotten slightly better animations. The Surtur's a pretty big figure in Nordic myth and such. I knew about Surtur long before I knew about Fate. Actually, I don't think it's because Fate wasn't created yet back then. So just fire everything here. Do I want to use her attack up? Yeah. She missed it on David. How dare she? Hey Beasley, what's up? Thank you for the 35 months. That's a longin'. So Beasley, what do you think about the 6.5 information? Also, how about that Saito? It was 35 last month. Look, it's not my fault Twitch can't count, alright? I can't read, Twitch can't count. It all evens out. Should've cast this last turn. You know what? We're gonna debuff him again. This should do pretty well. Yeah, the only ones that were really on that list were things that were rated up recently so people could get their coins, but even with that, I'm surprised Saito was the most popular amongst everything. But he is pretty cool, so I am not complaining. I think the fight ends when you break that health bar. He might finish his turn though. Yeah, no, it's over. David wasn't having any of that. Flaming Goliath here. I think Napoleon dies here. Pretty sure this is when he does his big NP smack. Surtur is definitely going to be one of the 4 raids coming up. That'll be available for like 3 hours while I'm sleeping. A little bit salty about that. The only way I'd get to play any of the raids is if I stayed up really late. It sucks too because sometimes raids give great loot, like really great loot. You can really catch up on like a material you need or a skill gem, stuff like that. I don't think this is the real fight with Surtur yet. This might be the seeds, which are like alter ego or something. I don't know though. Napoleon's not dead yet apparently. Maybe it is Surtur. I don't have a fucking clue. Just don't sleep. Yeah, that's reasonable. I wish they made the raids like an hour earlier or several hours later. Either way would be fine with me. Because if they were a bit earlier, I could stay up and at least do a few of them. And if they were later, when I would wake up, they would still be available. But we don't know how much health they're gonna have, but because the new raid comes out literally the next day, there is no way the raids are gonna have much health. Well, if I don't know what I'm fighting, I feel like Berserker's a pretty safe pick. Probably slap Proroku in here. There we go, that's a good spread of things. Do well enough. Why is Ushi in P1? What are my other options? Oh boy. Now we'll stick with that. So my main account has quite a bit of FP again, which I'm gonna roll when 6.5 hits, and hope I get a coup copy so I can grail him again. Why is it question mark if it's just assassins and then like some other class at the end? What are we doing here, game? Oh, so Martha's about to have a bad time. Almost. Could have attacked the other one. Incredible Martha damage right there. Most likely, though, you will be able to play the event. I have a feeling it's like Solomon, and you'll miss the raids if you play it later, but we're all gonna miss the raids anyway, so it's all the same. But we don't know for sure it's like Solomon, but I think it's going to be. It seems like it. Don't remember if these buff. Kind of wanting to do Martha's defense down just for the damage, but I guess I'll wait. I mean, the reason it's story locked is because it is main story. You know, this isn't some random event, it's 6.5, that's why it's story locked. Yeah, I don't think Fluffy is going to be in it, but it wouldn't really matter one way or the other. Like, this is literally, Vinch's story. I'm not sure they said there was an event CE. I think the new CEs they showed off are actually being added to the Gacha. But they didn't talk about the effects or any of that, so it's not really clear. Also, there's no reason they can't do something like the Solomon event and still have a new CE and stuff like that. Like, you know, Merlin was added during the Solomon event, but he's not permanent. He's just a limited time rate up thing, so there's really no telling. But we'll have to see. They didn't really give out that much information about it. They mostly just showed off the new units and the trailer and that kind of thing, so we'll just have to see. At least Fluffy gets a plushie though. One of the they showed like the raids, and it was like Cerberus, Surtur, Ivan's Mammoth. You know, it's monsters, right? Not humans. But yeah, Cerberus is one of them. And like, did we really need more fights with Cerberus? Like, goddamn. Yeah, there was two of them too. I know. It's like he's already like it was in Lostbelt 5. You don't just fight him once. You gotta fight him multiple times, because you always fight him multiple times. Yeah, get the Camelot Sphinx in there. That's not a human either. Alright. I think we're fighting giants and the lion guys here, I suspect. We'll just stick with Darius. Probably not use Martha now, though. I'd use Babbage, but he is 1-1-1 and he doesn't have his NP upgrade yet, so we'll wait on that. We'll use a Rosh. This is a pretty tried and true. Way to go. Get Stheno Bond. Oh, I bring Babbage. I keep not bringing Babbage. I gotta get that Bond. I've already missed out on like thousands of Bond because I keep forgetting. But what about George? George needs Bond too. You know what? We'll put, even though he's not in his final form, we'll still put Babbage up there. I don't think he even has full attack foes yet. Yeah, not even close. Lobo really would be cool in this story, but I don't have hopes for that. Oh yeah, Scatty's giving us quick up. Makes Billy so good in the Surtur fight. Use that quick up for more NP gain on Darius. Get a whopping 3 NP. Actually surprised that's all he got because he had quick up and his NP gain buff. Hey look, he got his quick card again. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That was because of overkill though. Everybody gets their NP. I should have done Babbage's NP gain up skill. Their animations are really slow. Atlas, not really a good pick here. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. May not work out as well as I would like. Do Darius first, because he'll do the defense down to make Spartacus do more damage. Tomoe often looks incredibly strange when she NPs major bosses, like Tiamat and stuff. It's ridiculous. fluffy. That's a good one. Dude, I actually think Zeus is going to be a thing now, especially with Tiamat happening and everything. I think Zeus is going to happen eventually, but I don't think it's going to be New Year's. I think it's going to be way down the line, but I have actual hope. Can you guys, like, not kill Spartacus? Although I don't want Babbage dying either. About time I got his bloody NP. His unupgraded NP with his 1-1-1 skills. Very powerful. And no foe items. Very powerful. About to see Scuffed Babbage next turn. Why'd they gotta do that? Like how Darius had guts. And then they, okay, I was gonna say they didn't attack him, but then he's like, hold on, I got this. I don't know what you mean by my in-game audio. This is just the normal in-game audio. If anything, this is actually worse than normal because I'm not using Samsung Dex right now, so I'm not doing anything special. It's just, if your audio's worse, you probably have like just an issue with your phone or something, I would think. But I don't think Green Man over here is the standard of FGO audio quality. That damage is so bad, but it'll get better. It'll get better. We'll give him 1k foe. We'll get his upgraded NP. We'll raise his attack on his second skill. One day it'll be good. Definitely not today though. Look at, wow, if we're getting that much bond per stage, I really messed up by not bringing him earlier. I don't think Guadia would get added until a major story thing, definitely. Because he's playing a pretty major role in 2.0, I don't think they're just gonna randomly add him. Although, I don't know, they randomly added Vinch and Castor Artoria and that kind of stuff. Although, ultimately, Guadia is playing a much bigger role than them because, especially Castor Artoria. Castor Artoria is a pretty self-contained story. You know, just Lostbelt 6, everything important begins and ends there, and it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things at all, where Guadia is kind of an overarching thing, so... But who knows, maybe they're not even going to do that much with Guadia in 2.0, maybe he just dies like a punk and that's it. And it's like, yeah, that's a thing. Let's go with default here. I could do this one too, but it's not really that good. They have said that Guadia is probably not the final boss in Arcade, like that someone else is. So I don't know, maybe they will have Guadia help you there. That would make people so mad. What I understand, Arcade Story is like another timeline that's like in the aftermath of the mobile game, kind of. So like someone else has moved into the Temple of Time and stuff and kind of like fucking with the singularities and stuff. It's something like that. I don't get it entirely, but... Do I NP here, or do I wait a second? I guess I just NP. Or I could wait to get Darius's art card and then reset. That's not so bad. Besides, then I can use Arash's health. Yeah, definitely better turns to reset the deck, because Darius didn't get most of his stuff yet. Oh crap, it's all in the third hand! It's one of those! Maybe I should have done the Brave Chain. Okay, at least Arash is tanking for us. Anytime they attack Arash, if they don't kill him, it's completely wasted. See, now the deck was going to shuffle on its own anyway. We're really not getting value out of Arash right now. I'll wait one more turn. I don't think Arcade's gonna get Mars because I'm not sure Arcade's gonna go that far into the story. I will say, I'm not really a fan of this, like, mobile game, you know, paving the way for the story and the characters, and then Arcade just, like, grabbing stuff that we don't get. Like, it's just dumb. You know, I don't mind when Arcade makes, like, their own alternate versions of characters, but we already got that character. But, like, that's what it feels like. It's like they're stealing. That's why people are so much more annoyed with Tiamat than the others, because it actually feels like they're stealing it. Because they kind of are. Because, like, the other characters were just, like, alternate takes on characters that already existed. Like, Gozen, like Christmas Gozen, and stuff like that. Where, you know, Tiamat was made in the mobile version, big character in the mobile version. She was created before Arcade even existed. People have wanted her before Arcade even existed. And then we never get her, and then Arcade comes along and they get Tiamat. It's like, what? You know, that of course people are mad about that. The thing is, they got adult Tiamat. Like, stage 3 Tiamat in Arcade is the adult one. Oh crap, I didn't kill the assassin one. Oh, I should have cast Guts. Oh, we're throwing. Of course you do that. Fuck you, game. God damn it, that's so bad. We just lost so much value because I thought that guy would just die. I didn't think for a second he would live. That's so bad. Oh yeah, Archimedes, that's a thing. Man, imagine if Darius could NP right now. Wouldn't that be swell? And Stheno shows up, you know, in from the back row, here to save the day because Darius died. And she comes in here, you know, batting her little eyes and can't charm a fucking giant, even though we just level our goddamn skill. Great job, Stheno. 10 out of 10. Always helping the team out. Incredible. Alright, let's see if Babbage can at least get his, You know what? I'm gonna cast this. Give me that NP already. Maybe they'll attack Babbage here. You know, that's deserved. I'd hit her too. I like how that's the giant she tried to charm too, and then he attacked her both times. Who do I think is gonna do more damage? Probably Spartacus, because he actually has foe items, and he's got his buff. At least her NP's been good. And Stheno's NP has actually been quite handy several times. The thing is, it doesn't, like, Arcade's business model is irrelevant to the mobile game. They're not even made by the same companies. Right, like, that's their fucking business. And, you know, it's up to them to make them their own stuff, right? It doesn't make sense that the mobile version creates the story, creates the characters, gets people invested in them. And again, Tiamat was created before the arcade version was even made, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you make stuff in mobile, and then everyone sees it there and likes it there, and then you don't add it, but then you add it in arcade, which most people can't play and won't play. And is made by a completely different company. This stage went so badly. SSR CE ticket win. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like that actually. They probably will put arcade out on like consoles or PC eventually, but most arcade games don't do that for a very long time. I think it took Gundam vs. Gundam like 10 years to ever do that. Like they normally wait until the arcade version is completely dried up and they've milked it as much as they can, and then they make a more like reasonable business model on PC or PlayStation or whatever. The gameplay in arcade is nothing like mobile. It's more like Gundam vs. Gundam. Like that's actually pretty similar. Not as good though. I gotta say, FG Arcade's gameplay is kind of clunky. Also horribly balanced, but I think that's to be expected. I think it'd be fun to mess around with like friends. Like if I streamed it and we fought it, you know, we like did 3v3, so everyone on both teams is from the stream, and we're just kind of dicking around like that. I think that could be a good time. Like there's fun to be had, but it's no masterclass of a game. It has PvE as well, but the PvE is pretty shallow and short, quite brief. But it's mostly a PvP game. The 3v3 actually looks okay because like the there really is ways to capitalize on like working with your teammates and then covering them and, you know, keeping them safe and that kind of thing, and that's really what makes or breaks winning or losing. And that's kind of interesting, where the 1v1 is terrible. Like the 1v1 is awful, but the 3v3 actually looks okay. Chat, see, I'm summoning myself so I get FP, so I have more chances to get coup coins. Dude, coup isn't even in arcade yet, like regular coup. Feels bad. Caster coup is, though. Babbage. Buddy. Can we dial that back a little bit? A little bit of steam there. No, yeah. Make the steam noises louder. Wow, he did that much damage when we had the defense up. Well, I guess we go boom now. You know, I think I guts this time. Let's not have a repeat. Try to at least kill one of these guys. We're almost done with Lostbelt 2. Pretty far along. About to fight Surtur. So I completely disagree with Cairo about Lostbelt 2. This is not even half as painful as Lostbelt 6. Lostbelt 6 has so much more filler. You don't fight any bosses worth a fuck for so long. Like, this isn't amazing. You know, there is definitely filler here, and there's a lot of gaps in between the good boss fights. But overall, the boss fights are better paced than 6 by a lot, and there is way less filler. And like, we're almost done. Like, this is not that bad. Like, yeah, I'm not like, yeah, Lostbelt 2 is so fun, guys. It's my favorite singularity. Like, not at all, right? Definitely not. But this is not half as... Lostbelt 6 is like a slugfest, dude. You're like just grinding through trash for hours on end. And it's just forced story supports and preset teams. And just grind, and then you have like 2 good boss fights. And they are 2 very good boss fights. They're better than any of the boss fights in Lostbelt 2. But that's like all there is. It's like Morgan and Fluffy, and everything else is trash. Alright, this is the only wave. So we just need to not die this turn and we're good. Lostbelt 4 is pretty good. It's also really slow at the start, and it's just all the good boss fights are at the end. But overall, 4 is pretty good, and it's not too long, so the trash isn't so bad. I don't find really any of the... Oh, Lostbelt 2. Yeah, I agree with you, Gambler. I think some of the boss fights in 2 are pretty fun. Like, that Surtur fight's fun. I think the Zigguard Valkyrie fight's fun, and you can even solo it for some extra spice if you want to. I think Valkyrie and Scatty at the end is fun. Like, I think the boss fights here are pretty fun, and they give you enough wiggle room to be a bit creative or use your favorite characters or solo or whatever. And if you're a newer account like this one is, then you still have to try, right? I can't just breeze through these. But they're not the best boss fights in the Lostbelts. Like, no way. Of course not. Who do we give the buff to? Probably Darius. Shame we don't have his guts thing for the defense down. So Spartacus though is going to get double defense down from both of his teammates here, so that's nice. I mean, Surtur's pretty easy ultimately. Like, you can easily beat him with shitty archers. I mean, look how bad this account is, and I don't think we're gonna have a problem with Surtur. Although I should wait until we actually get there. We'll see. And a lot of units can solo Surtur, so you can just summon one of those from your friends list. Although actually, I don't think you can summon a friend there. Either way, just level like a archer and you'll be fine. And Lostbelt 2 is pretty far into the game, so if you haven't leveled an archer or 2 by then, that is your own damn fault. I actually think the Lostbelts take it a little too slow. With like, it doesn't really ramp up until Lostbelt 5-2, right? 5-2 is when they start, I mean, maybe Lostbelt 3 to an extent, but I think they could have made some of the fights a little bit harder a bit sooner in the story. Zigguard's not that bad though, actually, because Surtur is a dragon. Because, you know, this fucking game. Alright, there's the Napoleon Rainbow Blast, so that's where Napoleon dies. The fight that I'm actually, the first fight that I think is going to be a problem on this account is going to be Lee. I think Lee could be a bit of a problem. By the time we get to him though, our Babbage should be in better shape. He'll probably be 1k foe by then. We should have our NP upgrade by then. That kind of thing. I do need to get his skills up though. Alright, let's see how we want to do this. I could put David in the back for cleanup, but we'll see. So David is the only archer on this account that is actually good for this fight. The other two are AoE, and then she's a low NP rank. But they're still counterclassing, so they're not bad. Pretty sure there's debuffs here. I might start with that. Not too bad. Surtur will probably kill Zigguard first, more times than not. Could have Chin Gong come in to super buff up David. That might not be necessary though. Could also do Hans to just keep people in it longer. I kind of like that actually. I know this back row is a little crap. This is a really bad CE for Atalante, but I don't have a lot of options on this account. Alright, round one. Let's see how this goes. I remember he's debuff immune on his first health bar, but then that goes away after the first health bar. And then there's definitely dots. And there is something else in this fight that I'm definitely not remembering. Yeah, honestly, Lostbelt 5-1 is the one that stands out the most to me. Yeah, it should not be as easy as it is. I don't get that, because it's easier than Lostbelt 3. And if you beat Lostbelt 3, you wouldn't struggle with anything in Lostbelt 5-1. I really wish 5-1 was not so boring. It really stands out to me as being boring, because it's so far into the game, and it feels like it's like Lostbelt 1, right? Like, gameplay-wise. If anything, Lostbelt 1's better, because I think Anastasia and the Mammoth fight are harder than any of the boss fights in 5-1. I mean, Poseidon is close. Poseidon is an okay fight, but that's like the only freaking one. And that's literally the last stage in the entire thing. So yeah, 5-1 does really stand out as being kind of crap. Thankfully, 5-2 is awesome and really makes up for that, gameplay-wise. And then 6, I don't know how to feel about 6, because there's so much filler. And there's so much crap, but Morgan and Fluffy are both really good and quite hard. So, I don't know. 6 is like, they're wanting to make the game, you know, more challenging, but then they also just put so much filler in there. Alright, I guess we want NP gain. Do I save David's skill? I think I do. How do I want to do this? Probably focus on Zigguard's NP gain because he's gonna die soon. So just make sure he gets his NP off before dying. Do I remove those debuffs now, or do I wait for more? I think I remove them now. Besides, she might be able to cast it twice. Go ahead and do that. Alright, time for Zigguard to press buttons. Bad we don't have any stars. Brave Chain or sneak in David's stuff. I think we do the Brave Chain. Anastasia is a good fight. It's a good fight. It's fun and it's actually really fun in solo because it's just so unique. You have to worry about really weird things you don't have to normally worry about. And it's good in the team because it's just there's a lot of gimmicks and she's got decent stats and everything. So yeah, I think Anastasia is a damn good boss fight. It's not as good as like Lostbelt 5-2 or anything. It's not quite that far, but it's quite good. It's the best. I think Anastasia is the best boss fight up until like Lostbelt 3. Yeah, that's like buff block. Which we can't remove that one. I can remove those defense buffs from him though. Alright, how does this work? Is it three? It's either 3 turns or 3 buffs. If it's 3 turns, that is so nasty though. Because then David can't get his evade off. Well, I'm gonna do this. Well, here, I can actually test it because I'm not gonna need this skill anyway. It's 3 turns. Woo, boy, that's nasty. Do that. Scatty tried to apply something, but it no effective because of the gimmick. Wow. Boy, those Goliath flashbacks. That's some powerful stuff. That's ridiculous. He had like no buffs either. He literally had his own charisma buff, and he didn't even have a Mystic Code buff. I can't believe how many people realized it was my birthday, because I didn't say a damn thing. I didn't say a damn thing. It's because people found out in Genshin Impact, because I trolled myself so hard, dude. So I remember, this was so dumb, right? I played myself really hard here. I made an account in Genshin Impact to stream, right? And I I put a false, I thought I was being so clever. I put in a false birthday, but it was close to my birthday. It was like almost my birthday, but it wasn't. And I was just gonna do that to throw people. And, cause that game shows your birthday like every time you bring up your fucking menu. So I knew people were gonna see it. And then, so I played Genshin Impact on stream for the first time ever. I'd never played the game before. I just played it, you know, for funsies. And then, so I streamed for a few hours. And then after the stream, I was like, you know what, I want to mess around with that game a little bit, but I don't want to progress in the story or, you know, exploration. So I'll make a second account just to, I'll just mess around with some stuff. You know, I'll just check some things in the game. I wasn't planning on keeping that account at all. And then that account, I just put in my actual birthday, because I was like, yeah, whatever. And then that account got Diluc in the tutorial summon, and Diluc was like my favorite character, so I ended up making that my main account, and so yeah, I ruined everything. That's also why I have the female main character, because the account I planned on using at the first had the male main character, and then because I was just dicking around on that second account, I was like, oh, we'll see if the female, like, intro cutscene's different, or for animations are different, and whatnot, and then yeah, I ended up getting Diluc, so. Thank you, Lost, for the 1,000 bits, that's a lot. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I played myself on that one, and here we are years later, and people still know, because of course they do. We still have the buff block. I think it's actually a chance for your buffs to fail. I'm not sure it's actually guaranteed that they fail. I really want David to live, but Sir seems to have other things in mind. He only needs to live a little bit longer, though. Nope, I should not have done that. I don't know why I thought that would work, but, oh, boy. Made this in MS Paint. Accurate, though. If only I could have landed that NP gain on David. Well, Zigguard might live? Okay, he lives now. Wow, Zigguard's gonna get to NP again. How about that? I lied. I lied. Why do I ever open my mouth? Okay, I can actually keep David alive, though, because... well, it depends on the percent on this. Because Mystic Code buffs are 500% chance to apply, but this might just block no matter what. But it could also be... it probably blocks no matter what. Well, he can at least save his teammates. And maybe he face tanks. I heard you like dimes, so I gave you 2 nickels. Very mature, chat. Very mature. Baby rage. Alright, let's heal and see if miraculously David lives. Once something is out on the internet, you can't... Look, he no affected on David, which that's not his fault, but then he just missed everything on Atalante, who, you know, we actually kind of need to do some work here. Alright, can David face tank? But yeah, once something's out on the internet, you can't get away from it. Gotta embrace it. Wow. Easily face tanked, actually. Although the normal attacks after and the dot actually got him pretty fucked up. I wish Atalante had her NP right now. Well, might as well NP with David anyway. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of gifted subs. I think Dr. Deus with the 10 gifted subs. My god, that's a lot. Thank you. Jesus. I'm so glad though we fixed the notification so it doesn't play the sub sound 10 times. I'm really glad we got that sorted because that was rough. Oh, was Max in there? Did Max get sniped? Because deserving if they did. White Flags is in there. But thanks, guys. I appreciate the bits and everything. So David is just obliterating. We were supposed to have to like use our other units, but that doesn't seem to be happening because David kind of strong. Even if David didn't have his buff, though, I think Arash and Atalante could have cleaned up, especially because she still has her evade and everything. But David made that quite simple. And hey, Arash gets his defense up, which, because it's AoE, he'll always get value out of, so that's nice. If we had struggled with this, which we clearly are not, but if we had, we could have just leveled one more archer and been okay. But I think we would have handled it, regardless. Although we haven't won just yet, because Atalante is in P1, so I don't think this is going to be that powerful. Yeah, I guess we could Stella there in a minute. Nah, she'll probably kill it. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, Rosh actually would have been really tanky there because he has the defense up, the heal, the guts. We would have gotten quite a bit of value. But then Atalante still would have lasted a while because she has double heal and the evade. In P1 Surtur, yeah, that would explain his damage. And Shadow with the gifted sub to Cap'n, very nice. David is such a good investment these days. He always was, but then when they upgraded his NP, so he's also a damage dealer, it's like, how can you not level him now? Saves the whole team, gives them damage up, does really good damage himself, quite tanky, helps with NP gain because of the art deck. The only bad thing about David is the skill seal. Now sometimes it's a good thing, there are a few fights where skill seal's awesome, but skill seal can be quite negative, but overall, David's definitely worth it regardless. Alright, we still got Valkyrie and Scatty. Which that's a bit of a tough fight. Scatty hits incredibly hard. And Valkyrie's got sure hit and such. So there's a pretty sad moment with Scatty in this story. Basically, like, she's kind of throwing, even though she wants to save her people and everything. She basically, when she sees Odin's birds on our side, she like knows her time has come and that she's on the wrong side, and so she kind of like gives up, even though like she's still trying, air quotes. But you know, Odin is like her, you know, god leader, so she kind of knew she was screwed, and like she actually figures out that her timeline is wrong like way before Chaldia shows up and stuff. Like she's, even though nothing in their own like timeline actually like tells them it's a singularity, she figures that out pretty early on. I mean, they did resolve the coup thing, like they did. This is probably Seeds again. We'll use Canis. Let me jump on my main here. Man, I'm so glad we got Tesla on the way to 100 now. I'm really happy with that. Give Ryder Canis a proper CE. It's been kind of fun using her some, seeing how she does. She's been doing pretty good, I would say. Nothing like Black Grail Coup. Heading to that 15,000 attack. He'll get there. He'll get there before 120, actually. Did I not let the support list go through? There we go. My regular Canis is 2k forward, the Rider one's not, and she probably never will be, but she'll probably be level 90 someday, like way down the line, because it's just 2 Grails. But right now, I gotta get Coup to 120, I gotta get Tesla to 100, thinking about taking Percival to 100. I'm also probably gonna Grail my Caligula more, because he's 80 right now, but I think I want to take Caligula to 90. So Rider Canis is kind of low on the totem pole, because it's I like Lance Arcanus more anyway, so, and they're kind of the same thing. It's like a costume swap, let's be honest. Okay, this is probably not a good time for David. I want to work in Babbage, even though he's not good here, because I want the bond. Probably get Ushi, even though she's NP fucking 1, it's still decent. This is kind of a mess right now. I should probably get support instead of that. Okay, we'll do it like this. I've got to get those Han skills leveled up. Alright, this looks promising. Nine. I should probably level that CE one time. I'm sure they'll find a time to do case files eventually. Man, Leo at 120, that's an interesting one. Because at that point, that's a lot of stats. So it's a lot easier to like use his own buster up and use his stars from his NP to make him self-crit, which that's actually really interesting. Faker's not happening. Faker is so not happening. That's dead. And if they ever added her, she wouldn't be the Faker class. She'd be a fucking pretender because FGO is stupid. I didn't think it was this fight yet. Shit. I brought the complete wrong team to this. You know, because it's 0 AP, I'm just gonna bail out. I legit did not. I don't know why I didn't realize it was that fight because it was Lancer Caster. Like, kind of makes sense. But look at that 0 AP. We're probably gonna need George again. Kind of do what we did against Sigurd to take out Valkyrie, because this account really is got a problem with Sabers. Actually, it's such a problem that Saber might be the next thing I level. Let me think. So we've got Babbage now for Lee. We kind of need, though, a proper Berserker like Lu Bu. Like, this account does kind of need... Wait a minute. What golds have I gotten? I keep forgetting that I'm allowed to use golds on this account. I'm so used to just being a budget whore. Okay, what do we got here? Not a lot that... Well, I mean, there's Herc, but that's like the one gold we won't use because we have the Herc account. Oh, we have Beowulf. That's a pretty good level up, actually, because Beowulf would be good against Mothman, he'd be good against Lee, he'd be good against, you know, if we need a Saber, he can fill in for that. So yeah, actually, Beowulf might be next. Caesar's an option. Caesar's definitely an option. We also need stuff that's going to be good for Limbo in Lostbelt 4. Yeah, I haven't played the Herkin account in a while because it's actually beaten most of the game, so I'll play it again. Probably once this account is kind of caught up, then we'll go back and play the Herc account again. Yeah, I'm thinking Beowulf. Beowulf is a pretty logical level up here. Either that or Bedivere or Caesar, but Bedivere is still NP1 right now. We'll probably get him another NP rank or two, though, when we beat Lostbelt 4 and we try to get Asclepius. Yeah, I like leveling Beowulf. We don't have a lot of use for our Berserker gems, ultimately, so that's a good pick. Even though he's NP1, I think he's good. It's either that or Lu Bu. But I kind of like Beowulf because he has guts and stuff. Yeah, I think that's, hell, I can go ahead and level him now. No big deal. Just so he's like up in my menu so I remember. Foreigner was definitely a dumb class. That's my least favorite class in the game. It just doesn't... It's such a bad idea in so many levels. Also, Beowulf is awesome. Like, that's another reason to level Beowulf. He's just really cool. Wait, do we have Saber Alter? That's kind of funny, actually. I would level her, but she's AoE, because that's a servant I never use, so it'd be kind of interesting to have her over here, but because we've got Siegfried, that's not the best value. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe if I get lucky, I tell you what, if we get her NP2, because like rolling story later, if we happen to get her NP2, then I will level her. But NP1, I feel like it's a pretty bad investment right now. Yeah, we could level Vlad. Whenever we need to level a Lancer again, it'll probably be Vlad. The thing is, just Proto Coup is so good, even though he's not as good as regular Coup, but he's still really good. We haven't been hurting for Lancers. Although actually, we're probably going to level Baldy next, because we're just stupid like that. But yeah, Vlad is pretty high on the list for Lancers. It doesn't matter if she hits harder than Siegfried because we already have Siegfried. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not listening to me. You think I don't know, like, how hard the different 4-star sabers hit? Like, I haven't made a 4-star tier list video or something? Like, that's not the deciding factor. It's like, for example, overall, Bedivere is better than Caesar, but if you already have Caesar leveled, you don't really need to level Bedivere, because you already have a fucking single target saber. Alright, so we have to kill Valkyrie first, like, no question. So, George. Maybe Hans? Let me think. So, Scatty hits really hard. Like, Scatty hits super hard. Off memory. And even Valkyrie can hit pretty hard. We need to go quick, though. Like, we definitely need to get moving. Hans makes a decent amount of sense. Honestly, Martha's not bad, because then you get the NP seal. I don't mind that. Could do switch as well. Maybe we start with Hans, and then if George dies, we bring in Martha. That might be too much, though. So Valkyrie has 2 health bars, so we have to find more than one way to do damage. I just wish we had 20-30. That would really help. Because then... Okay, hold up. Let's see if I can level Hans' 3rd skill any. Oh, I can't. I think I need homunculus babies still. That's what's been holding us up this whole time. Yeah. I keep forgetting to farm them because they're not even hard to get. Yeah, I only need 1 for crying out loud. Because if he could make more stars, I could get some normal card damage in. Could start with Canis just for the stars, then do switch. Or I should start with Hans and switch in her, because I could have, yeah, it's not too bad actually. Give Siegfried the 3rd skill from Hans, then switch in Canis. That would actually make a decent amount of stars per turn. It's either that or you switch in Martha, because she can do this. Yeah, okay, let's try that. I don't mind that. Alright, we're on to something here, I think. But I kind of want her to have her NP. Because the enemies are divine, so that's really good. You know what? I might give Hans the new CE, just because he needs 50% starting NP. And you can mess around with the heal boost thing. Thank you, Beastly, for the 200 bits there. I actually don't know if I'm gonna use Martha's stage, like regular stage art, or her final ascension. I just have been too lazy to even look. Wait, what was I doing? All right, CE. Getting distracted by chat. The only bad thing about using this on Hans is no health, where like having more starting health is probably better than the heal boost actually. That's more of a DPS CE, really. Anyway, as for those Salter and Siegfried, it's not even like Salter's better. Like, that's bullshit anyway, because like it's really arbitrary to pick out the things she does well and then ignore all the stuff Siegfried does, like debuff clear, which is really big for main story stuff. And he has better repeat NP. And the dragon gimmick, which is actually quite useful. And he's also way less skill rank dependent. Salter is ridiculously skill rank dependent. I don't know what to give Hans here. I guess I just give him that, but it means he won't be able to NP when he comes back necessarily. Well, did I get a Sakura scope before they deleted it from existence? I don't think I did. Damn. Don't really. I guess I could do that just because it's health and starting NP. That's a sad state of affairs right there. What to put here? Could do Ushi. Awfully optimistic about killing Valkyrie though, but I don't have anyone else that's good for killing Valkyrie, really. This is a weird team I got going on here. Well, let's see what happens. We just need a better way to enable either repeat NPing or normal card damage, but we don't really have the supports for that. This song is from Fire Emblem Awakening. It is called Mastermind. Okay, the first health bar is only 100k though. Although she's gonna get Scatty's NP. I can NP seal if I want to though. Man, why did Hans have to get all those cards? Because that means Martha is gonna get all those cards, and I don't want that at all. That sucks. I could wait to switch. I could Hans NP. I kind of want to save it for Siegfried's. Yeah, I think we wait a second, because Siegfried has both of his art cards left. George has both of his art cards left. Because Hans is over here taking all the damn cards. What a champ. I forgot to stun. I was gonna stun Scatty there so she couldn't NP. It's because I messed up myself in my head there, because I was gonna NP seal her with Martha and then stun her, but I didn't bring out Martha, so. Well, that's bad. I guess we can save it for Valkyrie if it takes us longer to kill her than we want. So all of Siegfried's cards are in the last hand. All of his art cards anyway. I could art chain next turn at least. What a terrible deck shuffle. Would have been best if the art cards were in the first or second hand. I kind of want to chain though. I could use some damage. got the damage cut though. Oh crap, that's gonna mess it up. Let's see, well... Okay, I can stun her. Let me think. I think I go ahead and turn her into a dragon. The problem is I need to like break faster than this. Attack up? Yeah, there we go, that's good. So I need to break next turn and then NP the turn after that. Okay, I can break here, that's good. I guess we switch out George then. Don't guard the NP seal. I want my money back! I didn't spend any money on this, but I want it back anyway. Are you kidding me with that? Just what is even her magic resist? I blame runes. I blame runes on this. Let's see, Valkyrie, passives. Her magic resist is B. She had a 17% chance to do that. Thanks, game. Awesome. Well, time to face tank. But that means, oh my god, that means Martha's gonna die. Well, might as well cast her stuff then, just so it doesn't go to waste. If she had, the value we would have gotten if she would have just landed the NP seal, right? Because then they wouldn't do anything this turn. Everyone would still be alive. The next turn, I'd have a million buffs and just blow it all up. But now half my team is gonna die, and it hell, Spartacus, Siegfried might die, depending on what Scatty does. Fucking 17% screwed me over. At least we get to see Green Valkyrie though. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I had that defense up and... You know what's sad is if I could have cast... What?! Okay, sure game. But if I could have cast Siegfried's third skill, he'd have the big defense up against Dragon, because Valkyrie's a dragon right now. That was so lame. And all that value's ready to go. It all would have lined up perfectly if we just landed the NP seal. I'm about to give Martha the Shinji CE, so Valkyrie would only have a 2% chance of resisting. But I feel like it's good to get the NP there, so, and I think way more times than not that won't happen. That was really, really unlikely. But yeah, if we had already broken the health bar and I could have done Siegfried's third skill, so he had the defense up, I think we actually would have had enough health that we might have survived Scatty's giant crit there. Love magic resist. It's so much fun, guys. Really engaging mechanic. And see, when you fight like someone with Goddess Essence and Magic Resist, so they've got you know, 50% debuff resistance, then you can kind of count on debuffs not landing very often, right? And so you kind of factor that into your plans, right? But when they just have generic B rank Magic Resist, you know, a big 17% chance to resist, you know, it's just super RNG bullshit. Do I want to bring in Martha right now? Well, I'm casting this no matter what. I wouldn't mind waiting just a little bit so I can potentially do Hans's NP. But ultimately what you need is damage. I'll wait one turn and see what we got next turn, I think. I could also art chain right now. You know what? I'm art chaining right now. That way we can just get the NP gain section of this out of the way. And then we can completely focus on doing damage. I forgot to stun again. Well, it's not terrible to save the stun for Valkyrie, but the thing is you don't need to stall Valkyrie as much if Valkyrie doesn't get the damage cut and she doesn't get the evade and so on and so forth. 17.5? Oh, I'm so sorry, Zoe. We missed that 0.5% chance to resist a debuff. Alright, I wish someone else had a Buster card. We actually might get it here. Like the one card has to match. I think if their decks are exactly the same though, they'll all match. But it's just the first card that has to be the same. We did not get a Buster card though, regardless. I think I'd do this anyway. I need someone to ping off the shield. I could use George for that, but I need someone's Buster card. It'd be so good. It's actually not crazy to use Siegfried's third skill there, because you might actually break. Probably not. This is bad though. He's going a little too slow. Okay, we do... We need to turn into a dragon, but I don't know if this is the turn for that. I think we'll do it next turn. Do it like that. But that's 50% damage by doing that Buster card there. Okay, we can break next turn most likely. Unfortunately, our buffs are gonna wear off. Well, not the NP one at least. I swear to God, we better break here. With our unattack foe George and our no Buster card against an enemy with damage cut. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, that was more than enough. We're good. George not that weak. What? Oh God, I think they might quick charge. I hate this game. I fucking hate this game. Why did he make gimmicks like this? It's just trial and error. That's so dumb. At least we're not dead. Wasting units though. And I could have stunned too. If I'd stunned, that wouldn't have happened. Wait, how did that kill? How did that kill? What? I'm so confused. It didn't kill last time and she has no buffs. It didn't even get close to killing last time and she has no buffs that affect NP damage. That, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna stun next time. What the fuck? Scatty's defense down does not even come close to making up for that damage difference. That's so dumb that you just fucking quick charge. I really prefer, I wish they would just do this from now on forever because quick charge is such a bad like thing gameplay wise. They should always do it like they did for Kingu in Babylonia. That's the only time they've ever used that gimmick, and that's just how quick charge should be forever. Because it still allows the enemy to NP sooner and to change your plans, but you can't just, oh, lol, double NP charge, I NP'd immediately, and there was no way you could possibly have done anything about that, right? You don't have to deal with that nonsense. Okay. Not going to Do I want to stun? If I had a really good opening hand, I'd want to stun Scatty. Because you could stop the damage cut and everything, but because his hand's not that good, I don't think I'd bother. I might need to cut Hans, to be honest. I think I just need to bring something to speed up this first health bar. Like, something to do damage or to buff Siegfried to do more damage, either one. Because that's, ultimately, we have, I think, more damage than we need for the last health bar. Like, that's not a problem. So we just need to do more damage than the first health bar. Yeah, Valkyrie, not exaggerating, Valkyrie has the worst overcharge in the game. It does not get worse than that. Yeah, we probably switch next turn. Yeah, we don't need Hans. We don't need this much MP gain and stuff. Hans would be fine if his third skill was max, just because it's enough stars, but because it's at rank 4, it's not that good. I like how we crit with the first art card there into the evade, and she evaded again. Oh, game, you are killing me right now. This is probably the worst RNG we've ever had here. Oh my god, that was so bad. Like, everything about that was so bad. We were going so slow. All they were doing was casting defensive stuff. Like, they weren't doing shit. They were just sitting there spamming stuff to make things go even slower. Alright, what do we want to bring? So there's Qingong, there's even David just for the charisma, there's Ushi for the charisma, Spartacus. Spartacus isn't too bad. There's also Martha, actually, just because there are some debuffs. Yeah, actually, I like Martha. Because she'll remove the evade, the damage cut, all that nonsense. That's probably enough. What does she need to do beyond that? I could do this just to make sure the defense down lands. I don't think she's gonna NP. I mean, she might NP, and it's a little bit of damage. And she does a defense down. I don't mind her getting her NP then. Alright, we'll do that. Just throw Martha at everything. Fucking quick charge nonsense over here. Give me 1 second. I need to grab like a granola bar or something. I'm hungry. All right. Well, got Buster cards. I think I wait to taunt on George for 1 turn. I'm casting that in case Siegfried gets punched in the face, so he gets more NP from it. Yes, yes, Scatty. Seen this NP a couple of times. Alright, we're just gonna yeet these buffs. That's a good feeling right there. Okay, I might wait to taunt on... Did she quick charge? Oh, she definitely quick charged. Gonna cast this just for the health. I really need to rank that up at some point. Maybe I should have put in Martha right there. It's kind of bad. If you get Siegfried's Buster cards in turn 1, you might actually want to bring in Martha right away, because the Buster cards are the ones you want to get the buff. Turn it into a dragon now. I think I'll wait. Yeah, we're going a bit too slow again. Yeah, I think you need to bring in the other Martha sooner so she can do the Star Absorb thing and you just crit. Yeah, we're definitely gonna stun here. We can probably break though with George. Do I want to do the Star Absorb here just to... We have 0 stars though, but yeah, I kind of want to just NP with her for next turn. And hell, she'll buff Siegfried, or George, so George does more damage. That's fine. I might as well do this. Yeah, this should break. We have defense down, we'll get the attack up, the anti-divinity, and we turn into a dragon. Yeah, the Rider Martha actually worked out better than I thought here. Because this should actually do decent damage because of the anti-divinity. Not as much as I was thinking, but it was good enough. Alright, you're stunned. What are you gonna do? And so we had taunt because we saved it, so Scatty couldn't kill anyone. Now we don't really need it, but okay, here we go. I would have liked the defense down on Scatty there, but we'll take what we can get. So much trouble from Valkyrie, but I think Martha was what we needed there. Are we gonna kill here? We got triple attack up, anti-divinity buster up. Because if I'm not gonna kill, I should do Buster, NP Buster, so I at least hit Scatty once. But if I can do 170, I can do Buster, Buster, and Scatty. Okay, you know what? We're gonna be greedy. We got anti-dragon, we got anti-divinity, we got triple attack up. We are NP1, and our third skill's not leveled either, but... Fighting those divine dragons. Oh yeah, no, she dead. Yeah, she dead. Wow, we might actually break here if we get lucky crits. Well, how about that? Making Ushi and Canis' job significantly easier there. Oh, great. I'm glad we didn't do that earlier, because that'd have been bad. Good turn. Good turn right here. Real productive. That's where Atlas could be good, and if you still had Martha, the regular Martha, you could free Martha with the Atlas and then have her use her second skill and free everybody else. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, well, ultimately these units don't really need to do anything anymore. We're kind of just waiting for our gliders to show up, and we should be fine. Ooh, she don't like Martha. She's mad about earlier. You know, Alex would be good here because Alex could also remove the NP buffs and also get rid of that crit up. That crit up is the real threat here. I don't think I use Ushi's evade until next turn because the boss is down 1 action because of the NP. Yeah, buff removal is actually super nice here. I really don't care for Scatty stage 2. Wait, or is... No, stage 3. That's what this is, stage 3. It's just kind of whack. Why do you... what? I'm all like, yeah, I don't need to use Ushi's evade, and then you just double crit me with fucking crit damage up. Thanks, game. God damn it. Didn't really want to star bomb there, but I want the attack up. She's like a grown-up magical girl. That's what stage 3 is. Well, yeah, now that I evade, you don't attack Ushi at all. Okay, now there we go. Just had to complain about it. If I'd done Ushi's first skill, she'd have her NP by now. Okay, I don't want to taunt because it means Siegfried's gonna live longer, but I gotta make sure Ushi doesn't die here. Too much wasted value if Ushi died there. Can you imagine if we had buff removal right now? We'd get rid of crit up, double crit damage, quick up, damage cut. We could have gotten rid of the evade earlier. Am I gonna NP 30k? I don't think I need to, but Ushi's probably gonna die, but if she happens to live, having her NP would be nice. Oh joy. Another quick charge. I wonder if that would have quick charged Valkyrie if Valkyrie was out. I bet you it would. Hey Green and Co. Years, and I finally make it to a stream. Yeah, I don't stream at the best hours for some people, I know, but I appreciate you showing up anyway. What is this? This is not going well. I might really want to bring someone with buff removal because these crit buffs are just destroying us, and we're getting horrible RNG with who she's targeting. Like, are you kidding me with this? We actually need to win right now because we're kind of on the ropes otherwise. And then we would kill right now if it wasn't for Ushi being NP1, but I think we'll get it. Only 200k. And someone will probably live here. It's very unlikely that... Oh, wow. I'm actually shocked that at NP1, Ushi still did that much damage. Like, that's kind of impressive. Because NP1 sucks. Okay. Really, what made that all work was just bringing Martha. That helped so much at the start. And then stunning Valkyrie on the turn that we broke, so we would have to get her quick charge nonsense. Yeah, it's my birthday. I don't know how everyone knows this, but it is. All right, let's see. Lostbelt 1 is Rider. I know for a fact Lostbelt 3 is Assassin because I reverses the tree. That means this one is Caster. Although this might not be the tree, this could be its seeds. But either way, the seeds are casters too, so I guess more Canis. Alright, we'll go... It's Ushi for last resort. I don't remember this fight. I know the Lostbelt 3 tree really well, but... Oh, I wonder why. I guess we bring Martha because she's counterclassing, and if there's debuffs, she's good. Just generic support there. Alright, this looks decent. Do I bring Atlas? I mean, I am truly clueless if there's debuffs here or not, but cooldown reduction's decent anyway. And Kidu just destroys trees. Which is funny because he's supposed to be all connected to nature and that kind of thing, and he doesn't want the earth to be harmed, but he is a tree killer. Honestly though, he's kind of an everything killer. I've even seen him fuck up sabers when they have divinity. It's true, they are space trees. That is accurate. Alright. Got delayed debuffs, I see. I think it does HP drain, and I see the HP text right there. I might do NP drain too, actually, with that text. Gonna cast this for the stars. What do you mean we're not by the seaside? Nonsense. Clouds. Clouds have water in them. What's seaside? And then the sea serpent is just coming out of water. See, look! You can see the splashes. That's clearly the sea serpent's coming out of the clouds, and he's making the water, you know, freak out. Clearly. I'm not stretching anything here. 94%. Okay, there are indeed debuffs here, although we're not going to clear them yet, because that's not actually that bad. I guess I art chain, and I'm going to cast this so she doesn't get debuffed. It's not as much. Can't Martha solo this stage? I'm pretty sure she can. I have memories of me doing a Martha solo video against a tree, and I suspect it is this one because there's. It looks like debuff clear is good, and I actually think when you break this thing's bar, it buffs itself, and then she can. Hi, Otto. Thank you for the gifted sub. But yeah, I think it. But how does everybody know? Anyway, yeah, I think the tree buffs itself and Martha can just eat it. But yeah, I swear everyone fucking knows. I did not say a goddamn word, right? I was like, I'm gonna just try to stealth this one out. Alright, but I appreciate the support, guys. Now let's kill a tree. Do I just Martha Brave Chain? No, I think we actually do this. Let's get a crit here. I'll probably remove debuffs the next turn. I'm going to be disappointed if we don't break here. Martha, we're gonna need a crit. Martha! Oh god, I ruined everything. And Sar is... I don't know if I said that right, but thank you for the 6 months. Okay, we're gonna remove that now. Man, our buffs are all gonna wear off. Sag! Now we're just wasting value here. David with the NP game though. Okay, yep, it does buff itself. It has a delayed buff for itself. Just gonna eat that. Man, how is Canis so wrecked right now? I guess I have to do this. Okay, so the idea here is for Canis to get another NP off before dying. Disease is because Staryu was already taken. Fair enough. Explain why they're not capital. Don't kill David. Don't do that. Don't do that! Oh, he should have casted his evade, but I was gonna use it on the NP turn. Bad times, bad times. Alright, I'm gonna NP seal because I don't want it to kill Martha yet, and then I'm gonna invulnerability Canis. No need to crit here, but I kind of want to use Martha's NP, so I'm gonna do this. Because the heal will keep other Martha alive. We could have won this so much faster and smoother, but we didn't know what the hell we were doing, so we're kind of scraping by. Alright, as long as he doesn't, like, remove my buffs, we should do really well here. 300k, though. He's got defense up again. This guy gets so many free actions every turn. Look at this. Got double defense up. Okay, we may not do so good this turn. Well, Martha can do defense down. Alphabet soup, yep. Have you checked again, Icy, by the way? I cannot believe you had Icy 23 for that long, and then you switched out for a joke real quick, and then it instantly got taken again. Like, how did somebody actually snipe that? Like, it's crazy. Wow, Kane is still doing a lot of damage. Whoa, alright, just kill it right now. I'm alright with that. Also, that looks so weird with the tree getting uprooted like that. JPEG intensifies. There's Odin's birds. Alright, well we took out Lostbelt 2. Those are both pretty simple, wasn't so bad, but Lostbelt 3 is a pretty big step in difficulty, so that's going to give us a bit of problems, I think. I would love it if we could somehow beat Lostbelt 4 before 6.5, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I'm going to keep streaming a bit here. We're going to do a bit of Lostbelt 3, get some of the early stuff out of the way. Because, yeah, I want to roll for Asclepius, man. I want that. Gotta get my Snake Doctor. I don't know how I'm going to level his skills right now, because we have a million casters to work on, but... You could spell the I... like, weirdly or something. Or you could always do IC24, right? That's the same thing. That's IC23 at home, right? That Ruo mode, oh my. More Grails, very nice. Beastly, if you ever changed your name, you'd throw everything into chaos. Like, you're so, like, known in the community that everyone would freak out if you was changed. Panic. And, like, when people are asking to add you on Discord, they'd still call you Beastly anyway. How many Grails do I have right now?
いらっしゃいだね、マスターくん。地道にコツコツやる。
15. Who are we grailing? Like, obviously we're grailing Stheno to 100 because it's the Stheno account. Probably grail Kojiro more, because not having 100 face is just the worst, so we need as much help as we can get. There's a lot of options here. David would be interesting. He's definitely good enough. I mean, my god, he'll work against almost anything. Baldy, yeah, right. Yeah, we might grail Kojiro a good bit. That could happen. We have so many grails that we can actually grail a decent number. Martha Santa is not a good grail target at all because she's a support. And I don't mind Martha, but I don't like her that much. If I was gonna grail a Martha, it would be Rider or Ruler. Like, especially Ruler. Not that this account has the Ruler one, but punching things is pretty cool, guys. You didn't hear it from me. Wow, this account's up to over 500 SQ. It's got pretty good odds of getting Snake Doctor then. And also, I've got a bunch of interludes that I'm like one node away from completing. So I'll do that at some point and get a bunch of SQ there too. So I think we'll get Snake Doctor once we beat Lostbelt 4. And we're getting there, we're getting there. Yeah, I'm not surprised you grailed Urzaw. That doesn't surprise me at all. Oh man, tough boss fights ahead. These are the hardest fights for a while. Like 4 has got some hard ones, but it's only Limbo with Gajuna. That's like the only one that's quite spicy. And then 5-1 is a joke. Like 5-1 is such a joke, but then 5-2 is really hard, and then 6 is hard. And then 5.5 is decently hard. It's not a joke. It's not as hard as Lostbelt 6. But it's not a cakewalk either. Hey, Cookie Killer, thank you for the gifted sub, man. A lot of gifted subs today, guys. I appreciate it. We kind of in loading hell right now. Any day now, game. Any day now. There you go. I saw that Vinch. Yeah, the hard fights in 5.5. The hardest one is probably Tuna with little Medea. That's pretty nasty. And then Ibuki's not too bad, but it takes a second to figure it out. And it's not the easiest thing. It definitely is not the easiest thing. It's harder than a lot of these fights we've been doing. But it's not as hard as Fluffy or anything like that. Like, not even close. That is... Dude, I have absolutely seen better particle effects, like 3D renders and stuff, on GameCube. Like 100%. I have absolutely seen better particle effects on fucking Nintendo GameCube. That was so bad. Like, wow, that was shit. Like, Epic 7 uses CGI less than FGO, but when they use it, it actually looks pretty good. FGO uses it all the time, and it looks terrible. I rarely am I ever impressed with FGO's 3D renders. Their 3D rendering stuff is quite poor. Maybe they'll improve on that. Yes, using a Force Lancer or an Archer stage, and then they make you bring MASH, because everybody wants to bring MASH. Thankfully, this is a really easy stage, I remember. Just bringing that for XP. Actually, I should get XP on the Switch Mystic Code. That's definitely better. Generally, the kind of changes you see when like companies buy other companies like that, it's very slow. It's like the whole Blizzard Activision thing, you didn't really see the fruits of that for years, right? They don't want to make big changes right away, and also like with a game like FGO with spaghetti code, only the current employees know how to even work with it, so it takes a long time for like the old guard to get switched out and things like that. So if it's a good or bad thing with Aniplex, it's going to be a long time before we can tell. However, I do hope that like maybe they'll get more staff, so they just have more like artists and things like that, because FGO needs more staff. I mean, and they've even kind of hinted at that in interviews and stuff. So that could potentially be a big positive. These are the only 3 enemies. Oh wow, you actually get your Mystic Code, just you're poisoned or whatever the crap. Can't use it. Well, Nuke had tried. Chat, I'm gonna have to stun this guy or he's gonna kill me. We gotta defend ourselves here. Let's see if New Ked can deal with it with 2 cards. Yep. Hey, Beast, wait a second. Wait a minute. Something's not right here. This is the second time we've had this, and we said we had 35 twice in a row, and now it's 36, so a month passed in like 2 hours. Something is fishy here, but thank you, Beastly. Just sub every day, you know, that's how Twitch is, apparently. We've been streaming for a month, Happy New Year. I cannot believe, though, we're that close to 2022, man. That's mind-blowing to me. But hey, we got Elden Ring coming up at the start of 2022, so I'm excited for that. And then sometime EDF6 is coming out. I'm really excited for EDF6, man. I love that series. I need to stream it one of these days. It's good. It's a good game. If I stream it, I want to make sure I do a good job. I don't want to just like slap some stupid shit together. Okay, now we're fighting Lancers. And we can actually do something. You know what? I'm gonna stun that one. I am not gonna stun that one. Yeah, sometimes time really flies by, but I try to just enjoy what I can, right? Don't worry about it. Worrying about it's not gonna change anything, so kind of just deal with it. 2020 was a whole wash, yeah, pretty much. I didn't mind 2021. I mean, it was still, you know, with COVID issues and all that, but there was some fun stuff. Alright, time to ram our forehead into the ground. And somehow that makes an explosion. Dude, she does not flinch at all. And if you look at the last frame, she kind of like is stuck in the ground with her head. It's amazing. I've been gifted a sub in a stream that I was AFK in. Has happened before. Like, yeah, I deserve this. Totally. I know you fight Landling pretty early on, but it's not really a full fight. So Beastly, what did you think about the new units? I know you said you weren't rolling because of you know, coins. You gotta save up for other stuff, I assume. Oh, I love that emote. Hex. Let's see here. Nothing like question mark enemy. Maybe this is Landling. Oh, Gambler getting that Caligula up. Are you, Beastly, are you seriously saving for Fujino? Because you know that's going to be a hell of a wait. Like, that's, because he just rated her up a little while ago. That is going to be such a wait. Oh man, that's brutal, dude. Well, good luck. This is a super hodgepodge team, but I'm kind of too lazy to change it. Oh wait, no, I gotta bring Babbage, and we gotta bring Stheno, and I guess George. All right, here we go. Do switch Mystico just for the XP, because these early nodes are quite simple. The first real boss fight, I think, is Landling and Horsebindo. That one's a little tricky. I'm gonna be real quick, chat. I need to get water and do something in real life real quick. So just give me 1 moment here. I'll turn the music up a little bit. Kirby music though. Alright, I'm coming back. I don't want to see any shenanigans in my chat now. There are some shenanigans in my chat. Alright, hide. Hide the pie. So it's kind of interesting that Beastly's over there having to save up for Fujino. And it's kind of the opposite for me because I need Ku coins. He needs Fujino coins, which you can almost never get. Where I need Ku coins, but I need an insane amount of them, but you can kind of get them anytime. It's just random as shit. So I'm like incentivized to roll on anything because I just want to get shots at Ku. Where Beastly can't do anything, so life's not fair. Although on the flip side, it's not like I'm actually getting Ku. Too many 3 stars these days. Alright, I guess we just have to do the 300k and that's it. Is this a giant, though? You know what? I'm gonna make stars and get an art crit on Beowulf here. Or I'm gonna get a 70% chance because life's not fair. This is where you need a few more stars from the previous turn. Go ahead and do all this nonsense. Just get lucky. Thank goodness. That would have been very unfortunate if that had failed. Honestly, I probably could have just done normal card damage for the 300k, but... So can Axe Lady get a helmet in one of her stages, chat? Is there any chance of that? I feel like there isn't, because they don't like helmets in this game, and especially on waifus. There's barely any even for the dudes. Like, there are almost no helmets in this game. And I don't understand. I get that a lot of people don't like helmets. I get that. But a lot of people like helmets too. And they have 3 stages. Like, why can't Lancelot Saber have just 1 stage with a helmet? Like, just 1. You can have helmetless for the other 2, but give us 1 for God's sakes, right? Like, that'd be a good standard, I feel, for a lot of their knights and armored people. Have helmet for 1 stage, no helmet for 2 stages. I think that overall make most people happy. At least Mori got the opposite. Mori got 2 helmets and then 1 without. But I think Mori appeals to a pretty specific crowd. Yeah, Odysseus had a bad time with the way they handled that. And we are going so slow on NP gain, I should have just done normal card damage. I can switch Martha in when someone gets close. I am going to stun, and then hope I can get an art chain with George's NP here. And like, Arthur has a canonical helmet, but he didn't get it in any of his stages. So that was unfortunate. Hey look, I can art chain, but not with Beowulf. Let's do it anyway. I mean, if I just NP at this point, the boss is toast. I'm pretty sure the dragon he saved is the 3-headed dragon in the NP, or the one at Rise. Not super familiar with that legend, but I saw some of it. But because there's, you know, you get those dragons in the NP, I think that would be the one that got saved, not the person. But who knows? Fucking FGO gets pretty weird sometimes. So David could probably win right now, especially with Martha's buffs. But, nonsense. Actually, you know what? We can probably just punch it real good. Yeah, okay. Well, all that time building up NP and then we don't even need it. Oh yeah, doesn't he like kill a dragon and then there's like a baby or something? I'm gonna have to look this up. It's not a particularly globally known legend because, you know, the world's not fair. So if he killed the 3-headed dragon, why is that in the NP? Someone explain this to me. I love how people say stupid shit like that in my chat. Like, cause yeah, all those alternatives I have, right? Yeah, look at this, this Shakespeare I'm gonna use. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, and our Hans with 114 skills. Like, what do you think I'm gonna be using, jackass? I don't know why people say stupid shit like this all the time. They're like trying to get like gotcha when they don't have any idea what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, I wanted to test the unit, so I'm gonna use it. And you could level her for free. So it's like the only support that I have. Like, look at this hot competition from our 125 Chen Gong. Oh man, he's so powerful and ready to be used, guys. And I never even said Martha was bad. It's just that the competition is really fierce and it's gonna be hard to justify here in a lot of situations. But see, that requires actually listening to what I say, and nobody actually does that. Just summon Merlin. Merlin's pretty good. Who knew? Although don't listen to Reddit, because they seem to have other opinions about that. Actually, let's use Tesla. Yeah, here's the good stuff. Alright, let's see. I like how also, anytime I say like anything, it always will get skewed like that. Like at no point did I ever say Martha was bad. At all. Like that never came out of my mouth at any point. But if you don't just like suck a unit's dick, everyone's like, oh my god, they think they suck, and they just gotta make a big deal out of it all the time. It's so obnoxious. Imagine nuance in 2021. Alright, we'll do the old switcheroo here. I think the best support we've actually had on this account is David. He's kind of good like that. Alright, Babbage. Gotta bring Babbage. Gotta get to Bond 4. How close am I? I keep not bringing him, so probably not that close. Well, we're almost Bond 3 at least. Probably like 9k to go. We'll do it. It'll get done. Nothing like a Stheno art card. You know what? Embrace the memes. Surely Tesla can handle whatever this is. Honestly, they probably will buff Merlin at some point. Like, give him more battery or something. You know, I like how you have all these budget supports. Shakespeare, Asclepius, Martha, you know, all these, MASH, you know, they're all 20% battery, right? For one unit. And then Merlin is 20% for everybody. And then also invulnerability. And I like how MASH's invulnerability is for one unit. And then Merlin's is for everybody too. These things are not created equal. At least Mash has taunt though. Like Mash is no joke, she can be really good. She's definitely not as good as Merlin for most situations. Maybe I should have saved that for Spartacus. If I just double NP here. Yep. Oh yeah, Tam is another really good support that everyone sleeps on. She's not the best for farming just because no battery, but honestly she can still be good for farming because a lot of units don't need battery. And her massive amount of art up can actually allow a lot of units to do the whole loopy EMP refund thing. Like, she's been able to do 3-turn setups like that since before Castor Artoria. Like, yeah, you're more reliant on, like, K-scope and certain more specific art DPS and things like that, but it's still useful. Boy, is Spartacus not good here. Didn't think we were fighting that again so soon. Also, it's pretty easy to do Castor Artoria and Tam. A lot of times you don't need double Castor Artoria, it's like super overkill. And if you put in Tam, you get the really big NP up and art up, and if it's a harder fight, you get the cooldown reduction and stuff. The thing is, a lot of whales and stuff that are doing like min turn, you know, super buff stacky Leviathan setups, and also getting good RNG to make sure they like min turn a challenge quest. They don't need cooldown reduction because the fight ends before your skills are ever gone, right? Oh yeah, I guess I should change the title because we beat Lostbelt too. There's our NP gain. We're over here zapping, landing, lightning. Probably should have cast that last turn. You know, I guess I just NP'd to make sure I break here, unless I think the Buster Chain can break. Nah, it probably can't. This account really does need to get Hans up though. We really need that kind of sustain in a lot of these fights. And I actually think Martha and Hans together is really good because you can have Hans make a good chunk of stars with his third skill and then have Martha do the burst stars and then somebody's critting. Like, that's actually pretty nice. I don't believe it. Stheno actually did something there. Incredible. I should have given her Cope Scope though. Her NP would have been really nice. We're going really slow here though. The NP gain kind of out of sync. Alright, and you should get it here. So I'm not even doing the damage combo, I'm doing the NP gain one. Although, I actually should have looked at his third skill. He might be about to get that. Not quite. Come on, hit Tesla. No, that's David. That's, the little shit. Well, didn't even matter. Satisfying way to win, anyway. This is from Tales of, yes. Tales of Zelia. The one everyone forgot about. I wish that boss fight there was harder. Like, if that was the Gwaine of the Singularity, that'd kind of get the ball rolling nice and smooth. But Lostbelt 3 has most Lostbelts. They just don't want to throw anything hard at you at the beginning. I don't know why, but like 5-2 I think is the only one that starts throwing real bosses at you from the get-go. I have not finished Tales of Arise. That game's like, there's so much wrong with that game. There's so much right with it, which is frustrating. I'll finish it at some point. But like the writing is such a mess, and like the combat system is almost amazing, but it's like really unrefined with like the dodge system feels good and the attacks feel good. The issue is the enemy design. The enemy design is just bad in that game, where like the enemies just do like a really arbitrary like pre-attack animation that doesn't like logically convey when they're going to attack, and then with no warning their attack just instantly comes out. So it makes dodging just completely arbitrary and about memorizing and not actually picking up on like tells and stuff. That really hurts that game in my opinion. Like the dodge system is a good idea, it really is. They've got it, their core combat system is good. It's really good. It's one of my favorites in a Tales game. But the enemy design is so bad. Like that's what they got to work on in future Tales games, is their enemies need to be made better. And they really need to look at games like Dark Souls, Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, and look at how they design their enemies and how they go about like doing their attack animations and stuff. And because that's what it needs. If they had better enemies with better attack animations, Arise's combat system would be amazing. That would not save the story. And like the story's premise is good, and the character concepts are all good. If you look at the characters on paper, they sound pretty interesting. But the execution with the writing and how like the story unfolds and everything, it's really bad in my opinion. Like really, really bad. Characters act very illogically and inconsistently. Like it all feels like crap. I hate to say that. I was looking forward to that game a lot, and I do like it in certain areas. But overall, it's very flawed. But ultimately, I'm very happy that it exists because I'm hoping it'll get them to. I hope they don't give up on that formula and they don't just abandon it. I hope they try to refine it, because if you refine it, I think it really could be a great like combat system and all that, and the graphics and all that are fine, so that's not a big deal. I just need to log in here. I'm well known for slotting BB. That's a support though that I think Martha is definitely better than. But yeah, all I've literally ever said about Martha is her competition is really fierce and the jury's still out and she needs to be tested. That's it. And that's still the case. And I still haven't really been able to test her because she's what? Okay, over here she's 5'11", but like on my main I think she's 5'10" or something, so she's getting there. But yeah, she's kind of a joke over here. But at least the good thing about her is she's pretty decent at lower skill ranks because her battery is a set 20%, and that's quite nice. So she sucks. Yeah, clearly. That's obviously how this goes. And you know, I never use units that I think suck either, right, guys? Guys, I don't ever use. I wouldn't use a unit like Sanson. I wouldn't do that. And see, now when someone's going to translate that into I'm saying Martha is as bad as Sanson, when that's not even remotely what I just said. Let's see. I guess we'll do a Rosh again. I don't know. Some of these stages, he's not going to do enough damage, so it's almost better to just start with Spartacus. Alright, hopefully our back row doesn't matter, because we got to get Bond with these people. I actually kind of need Bond on George, because he's actually quite practical to get to Bond 10. Okay, let's just do Spartacus and Noah Raj. That way I can do this. Man, fuck, Sanson wishes he was as good as Martha. Like, even if Martha ends up at the minimum amount of value that I think she might be able to have, that is still way better than Sanson. And Sanson though is still better than Jekyll and Hyde, so it can always get worse. I actually do use Hyde sometimes. That's the thing. It's just he's so bad. He really is my limit, right? Like I can use Sanson sometimes. I can use Geronimo sometimes, but dude, Jekyll and Hyde is just so depressing. Because you have all this like complicated gimmick stuff that culminates in trash. It's got to be the most unrewarding gameplay in the game. I don't know though. Sanson's just boring because he's got one skill, and it's a pretty uninteresting skill. And we use Charlotte plenty, thank you. She shows up pretty often on this channel, I would say. And she's got a nice hat. $30K. Don't think. Yeah, let's put my buff. Damn. Kind of sad. Man, if he had more Darius getting attacked there, he would have gotten his NP. These are the only 3 enemies. Could have already cast that. Come on, give me Darius's NP. Getting desperate here. That 1 NP gain. There we are. Well, they let him have it. Alright, that ought to be that. The thing is, they buff low stars, but they mostly do it when it's like thematic. So it's like Jekyll and Hyde needs a prototype collab or something like that. Alright, one more bond, and Babbage can get his NP upgrade. And when they do buffs that aren't connected to anything, like on the anniversary or a batch of interludes, where it's more like random, they only do a few. And just look at the math. It's actually gotten really messed up, and I think they've just recently started to notice this themselves. They add more new characters faster than they do batches of interludes. So think about that. Think about that. That means they're always falling more and more behind on 1, buffing units, and 2, actually giving stories to characters, right? That don't have like an interlude to show off their character and stuff. Because it's not even close. They add way more characters than they add interludes. So as time goes on, the odds of like a character that you want specifically to get an interlude just get lower and lower and lower and lower. They really need to address this, right? They need to either do more interludes or slow down the rate that they add new characters and then do other ways of monetizing the game, like one or the other here, or both. Let's get Tesla again. It's probably a single target fight, but he's a 5-star, so. Oh wait, no, it's Lancer, excuse me. Definitely not Tesla then. Don't necessarily need to counterclass. We'll see. Anything grab me here? I'd actually like to use Sitting Master, but the only one we have is scuffed as hell. Let's see what I can slot. I don't want to use Mordred because we use her a lot, and she's just so upgraded. I want to do something different. I could do Karna. Oh god, 111. Feels bad. Karna's kind of middle of the road. And, oh, I got it. There we go. That's the one. I like that. Alrighty. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. There we go. Okay, maybe Stheno. I swear, this probably isn't a boss fight. I don't know, maybe it's a tiger tank, I don't know, but might be a bit later. I was about to make like a super serious, like, the best I could to fight a big bad Lancer boss, but I don't know if this is gonna be a big bad Lancer boss. Oh my god, I need 2030 so bad, man. Or just Hans' 3rd skill, either way. Can we just get a homunculus baby to drop from the main story? Apparently that never happens. It's only in London and then never again. Because I'm not farming London, there's just no way for me to get homunculus babies. It sucks. And they're not even hard to get, and not even a lot of servants need them. It's generally not a problem. Okay, I still gotta bring Babbage. Guess I should bring George for Bond, because I'm guessing this front row will work just fine. And if we actually need our back row, we're probably screwed, because this back row is not exactly designed for the stage that we are doing. Alright, what are we fighting here? That's so not a boss game. Probably should have just brought Spartacus, but whatever. Time to crit a lot against 30k enemies. Very exciting. I need to level his second passive so he can NP right away. Look at these awesome animations though. Alright, let's see what I can get done here. Can I kill all three? You can really hear the Caesar in his voice when you select that NP there. I would love stage 2 or stage 3 to have a helmet though. That would look so cool. Like having a helmet like Berserker Lot but white, that would look super badass. So like the black visor anime space. Would be great. Probably kill one of them here. Unnecessary attack up. Actually, it might be necessary. We'll see. Because no one else has a booster card. Stheno coming in with the quick crit though. That did not quite kill. If someone else had a booster card, that would have killed. And yeah, Berserker could, one of his stages could not have the helmet because that was a thing in the story anyway. With the long hair. If Berserker Lancelot should have 2 stages with a helmet, 1 stage without, or a costume without, like how Lee has a costume for just the sunglasses. That's a very easy way to do it, and it takes no effort on their part to implement that with the way that they do paper mache stuff. You'd only have to draw the helmet like from 2 angles, tops, and maybe not even that. And then Saber Lancelot though could be the opposite, where you've got 2 stages without the helmet and 1 stage with, or 1 stage, you know, costume with the helmet, just like with Lee and the sunglasses. That's a pretty, at this point, that's what they should do, is just make a costume for Saber Lancelot that is the helmet, and then a costume for Berserker Lancelot without the helmet. And again, that would just not be that hard to do. It'd be a little bit harder for Berserker Lancelot without the helmet. That's more work than the helmet, because sometimes you need to change their facial expressions and stuff, and make like the blinking and that kind of thing, but it's not that big of a deal. Stheno, don't fail me. She actually probably would have failed that if she did not crit. Why? Did they have a taunt gimmick? I wasn't paying attention. Why on earth did Hans have taunt there? These are not the kind of enemies that I would expect to have a taunt gimmick. Well, I don't know why I'm doing that NP, but I'm doing it. Get that defense down, totally worth it. Yeah, that is so weird. I guess it's like the story stuff, but why is it always Hans? Oh yeah, as much as I like this song, we can't really play it because it gets DMC'd now. DMCA nonsense. Which I don't even know why. Does it? Maybe it doesn't. Am I crazy? I can't remember. I'll have to look later, so we'll skip it for now, but I may be confusing it with something else actually. Well, you know, Twitch these days, it is what it is. I don't know if Zerkalot has that in arcade or not, no idea. Oh man, we're so close to Bond 4. We are not close to being able to get Babbage skill ranks, but welcome to the caster slot. For all the other classes, you can easily only level like 1 or 2 of them for a long time, for a very long time, but you gotta level so many casters, man. Man, these stages are so boring right now, but they get better. Probably 2 more stages and Babbage will be done. Because he doesn't need Bond 5, he needs Bond 4. The amount of times we have done this setup, or a variation of it. I do think Tiamat has a better chance of getting into mobile than some of the other arcade stuff. But even if she does, we're probably gonna have to wait a while. And there could be a business thing in place with Sega where it's like, you know, it has to be at least a year or 2 years or whatever, you never know. But she's such a big name, like, I don't think they're ever gonna add like Christmas Helena or Gozen because dude, it's so much less hype if they add that instead of a new Santa. Like, it's so much less hype. So regardless of if there's an exclusivity deal or not, I just don't think they see it as worth their time. They're like, oh, we might as well, you know, incentive for arcade anyway. Where it's not like that with Tiamat at all. It's not as fortunate though as like Da Vinci, because Da Vinci is part of the main story, so obviously her coming to mobile is not even slightly surprising. Because Tiamat and Lolly Da Vinci were both in mobile first, right? But then they were playable first in arcade. But Tiamat's an antagonist for mobile anyway, and then Da Vinci wasn't, so there's a big difference there. Guess I'm gonna overcharge Arash here and hopefully land the attack up. Because then you get the overcharge extra oomph and then the attack up too, so that's a huge damage difference. On, attack up, 80%. God damn it! I swear if we like almost kill but don't. So the 6K one would be dead. The 16K one though would still be alive, but it'd be lower. But the 6K one would be dead, and that would mean I could kill him this turn quite smoothly. Might still be able to kill here though. Just barely. I mean, they can add, you know, like, there's nothing to say about Mother Harlot. They can add that to anything, anytime, for any reason. There's nothing, you know, hinting one way or the other. And they may just never add it at all. That wouldn't shock me either. Although with how much the community talks about it, they're probably going to do it eventually. I mean, that's literally my Darius. I didn't go too bad. Rosh could have, like, just killed everything on that one turn. That'd have been really nice. Alright, one more stage for Babbage. I've been doing the NA lottery a bit. I want to make sure I can get the command codes and so on and so forth. I need to make sure I get that done though before 6.5. I don't want to have to split my attention, and I'm probably gonna have to make videos for 6.5 as well. It's hard to say. We'll see. Not like I'm gonna be able to do the raids. Okay, you know what? Let's give Spartacus a damage CE for once in his life, instead of Cope Scope. Maybe Chin Gong. Maybe switch Mystica, or this, actually. Or this, give him the NP, then switch in Chin Gong. Alright, let's try that. Casual AM music here. Gil time. You know, it'd be kind of fun to use Gil against Lancers. I'd have to log in my ult account though. I do feel like I need to use Gil more. Like, he's awesome. It's just, he's so strong and mine's level 100 and all that nonsense. That, I feel like it's like too powerful most of the time. But I like Gil so much, his animations are so good. I need to find ways to use them more. Well, I like how I bring all this damage for Spartacus and then the enemies are so low on health that I could have just done Cope Scope. There's just no winning, man. Always the wrong play. Caster Gil is not even a half as cool as Archer Gil. Not even comparable. He also dresses like a dork. He's got some of the worst fashion in FGO in my opinion. Him and Ushi, man. Like, they're both, like, their clothes look like they went through a blender, although it's worse for Ushi. And they're both like all these random rainbow colors that have no synergy at all. It's atrocious. I don't know why I didn't cast that earlier. Honestly, I don't like any of the alternate Gils that much. I don't mind Caster Gil because ultimately his character is basically the exact same as Archer Gil and he's cool enough character-wise that I don't mind him. But he's basically, but because he's exactly like Archer Gil, he's just Archer Gil but with worse fashion. So it's like, okay, I'll just take Archer Gil, thanks. And then I don't care about Kid Gil at all. And then Nebuchadnezzar or whatever, it's like, that should just be its own character. It doesn't need to be a Gil face. It's actually worse because it's a Gil face. Proto Gil's awesome, but he's not. That's not the same thing as like, you know, Artoria, Saber Lily, or you know, Saber Alter, right? That's not the same thing, you know, like Ku and Proto Ku are ultimately two different characters, and it's the same thing for Gil and Proto Gil. Yeah, Proto Gil's great, but he's also never getting added, apparently. Even though he was data mined at the beginning of the game as a unit that had an ID slot reserved for him, but they've just never done it. If the game goes on long enough, though, they'll do it eventually, because they'll do a prototype thing at some point, which might not be anytime soon. Tsukihime might be next, the next collab. I don't know, though. It wouldn't shock me. I'm kind of glad, though, Caster Gil got the costume, because regular Gilgamesh already has really good fashion. Or Caster Gil didn't. I like Caster Gil so much more with his summer costume, because it doesn't look like a blender rainbow anymore. And then Ushi went from one blender to another, so, you know, I don't know what to say about that one. There we go. Okay, Babbage can get his NP upgrade now. I think there was only the one Perseus. And over time, they've kind of just blended the two because they had a Fate version, but it never really got any attention or screen time. And then there's the prototype Perseus, which has gotten a good bit of attention and screen time. Although obviously not playable or anything, so not that much. But for someone that's not playable yet, there's a decent amount known about him and stuff. So, you know, at this point, if they're ever going to add Perseus, it's going to be prototype Perseus. And if they want it to be the Fate version, they're just going to kind of like conflate the two at this point. I doubt they're going to make two, you know, completely different versions of Perseus like they did with Proto Gil and Proto Ku and stuff. I just don't think they're going to do that anymore. Because he's not popular enough like Merlin for them to just, you know, make up some new bullshit for prototype. There's no way they're going to want to do two versions of him like that. That's not going to happen. They should, because, you know, artistic integrity is nice, but they're not gonna. I don't see why Tsukihime collab would be a problem. I don't think there's going to be any issues there. It's not like there was any issues with K and things like that. Like they're not gonna do anything in the story that would cause fans to get pissy at each other, because you're not gonna have like, you know, Arcuate falling in love with the main character in this game. That's just not gonna happen, and they're not gonna have like it's not gonna be Tsukihime versus Fate or anything. They're not gonna do that either. Like it's just gonna be like, oh, we're working with them and blah 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 blah, and this is a bad guy and blah, 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 you know, generic shit, and then, you know, it's gonna be very unoffensive, because that's how they always do that kind of thing. Which makes it boring, by the way, because like I never get when you make stuff like you know, Alien versus Predator, but then they're just like, oh, the two sides of the same coin, 50-50 all the time. Like, that's so fucking boring, and it doesn't respect the source material of either thing and stuff, but it's just, you know, pandery fan service, and that's just lame. But that's normally how that kind of stuff goes. It's not like you murdered Shiki in the K&K collab, is what I'm getting at here. I would just like to point out, you know, I don't care that much about Aliens franchise or Predators franchise, but because I have a functioning brain and I actually pay attention to stuff, Alien vs. Predator is just so dumb. Like, a regular xenomorph struggled with space truckers and actually died to space truckers. Like, are you kidding me? And like, if you look at like the feats of strength that a xenomorph can do, they're not that strong. They're stronger than like a Joe Blow, but they're not like lifting trucks and shit. Meanwhile, Predators are literally like just doing a weak kick and sending a green beret like across a giant field, right? The feats of strength difference is massive. I mean, it's just massive. Like, and the Predators are over there fighting like trained professional killers and winning, by the way. And then like their like physical strength and how high they can jump and how hard they can, you know, push and pull and punch and everything. It's just like the difference is so massive. Like, it's a joke to try to put these in the same universe and act like, oh, they're equal combatants. Xenomorph can totally keep up with this. Like, that's nonsense. That's utter nonsense. And if I remember correctly, they tried to downplay it in the first Alien vs. Predator movie by saying it was like teenage predators, like untrained teenage predators, but they said that really quick and under the rug, so they didn't want you to think about it. And that was how they were kind of trying to explain how the xenomorphs could keep up, but even that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's just dumb. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Like, and I get a lot of people like the Alien movies and stuff, and that's totally fine, but, you know, I like, you know, Baccano, but I have no delusions of grandeur that, like, Baccano characters could keep up with a Dragon Ball Z character, right? Even, like, that's stupid, right? That's just fucking dumb, and that's how most crossover stuff is. The universes are not even remotely compatible, and then they just make sure everything's 50-50 and, you know, blah, 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 and it's like, okay, great. Like Gundam does that. When Gundam do, like, Gundam crossover games and stuff, they always make all the different Gundams from all the different universes, like, roughly the same power when they absolutely are not. And that defeats the purpose, right? If you're not gonna have the unique stuff about the unique characters or mechs or, you know, whatever crossover you're doing, don't do a crossover, because it's not any fun anymore at that point. Although I guess some people just like the fan service, but. Excuse me. All right, let's see here. I guess Spartacus is still fine. Most of these stages, the enemies have been quite weak, so. Martha's nice for the crit stuff here, potentially. Alright, Babbage doesn't need Bond anymore, but Stheno does, and George does. And they're kind of like... Stheno is an endless, like, pit, right? Because we theoretically need to get Bond 15, because she's never going to have enough coins. And George just needs Bond 10, but that's going to take a while, because 9 to 10 is super slow. And then Superman just sucks because he's so inconsistent throughout the different works. In some series and comic books and movies and stuff, he's outrageously powerful, and in some he's really not. And then they just like to arbitrarily be like, oh, but kryptonite though. So it's like, it's such a... And like, didn't he eventually make Superman randomly weak to magic just cause? So they can just kind of ass pull either magic or kryptonite if they don't want Superman to run everything, and if they want Superman to run everything, you just don't use kryptonite, and then it's like, okay, well, this is boring. And the Hulk is like that too. The Hulk is like that too, where his power rating is all over the place in different continuity. The thing is, Batman could beat Superman in the right context because of kryptonite. Fuck, Billy can beat Superman because of kryptonite. There are so many comic books, movies, cartoons, and stuff where like Lex Luthor, with no plan, no power armor, nothing, just casually bodies Superman with some kryptonite. Right? And then like Lois Lane has to save him or something. And you want to tell me Batman can't do it? Like, really? Like, I don't even like Batman. He's pretty boring too. But like, if fucking like casual ass Lex Luthor with some kryptonite can beat Superman, I'm pretty sure Batman can figure this out. And isn't Batman like a billionaire? I'm pretty sure he can get his hands on kryptonite. Like, how is this even a thing? Like, it's not like some outrageous thing to say Batman can beat Superman, because Superman loses all of the time to stupid shit, right? So if anything, it's less stupid if Batman does it, because he's got the money to get kryptonite, and he's smarter than a lot of the, you know, random idiots that have beaten Superman with kryptonite. So, like, it's not weird. But also, if he doesn't have kryptonite, Superman would just instantly kill him with his eye lasers or whatever, right? So it's an arbitrary ass matchup that is completely context specific. So the writer can just do whatever they want. The writer can be like, oh, you know, they just fight spontaneously and Superman just wrecks them, or like, oh, Batman's been planning it, he's got kryptonite, oh man, right? It's bullshit. Like the writer can just make up whatever they want. All right, let's see here. Okay, we're not gonna need the back row. We'll just slap whatever the fuck on here. So I would say pretty easily Iron Man is way better than Batman, because Iron Man doesn't have some arbitrary weakness like kryptonite that you can exploit, so that's a big thing. They're both portrayed in their universes as both being very, very smart. Even if one is a bit smarter than the other, it doesn't really matter. And then Stark's technology is just a million times better than Batman's. So that's just so heavily in Iron Man's favor. Like it's not even close. Again, if you put them in some dumb crossover movie, then they just miraculously be tied or whatever, but that's nonsense. Who cares about Batman though? Like Batman villains are where it's at, man. Like Mr. Freeze and, you know, Joker and stuff. That's the good shit. Who cares about Batman? Get the flying rat out of here. No, nobody needs that. All right, Spartacus. 45k with the Brave Chain. Let's go. No, it's really not subjective. A lot of stuff is not subjective. It's like, again, with the Alien versus Predator thing, there is a canonical, you know, demonstratable, you know, feats of strength from a Predator, and like how fast they are, how hard they hit, what their technology does, right? Like some things are pretty set in stone, right? Like, yeah, some things are subjective and too close to call and that kind of thing. But like, you'll have an anime, right, where like, look at Dragon Ball Z, right? You have characters that can like crush mountains with their pinky. I'm not exaggerating at all. I'm actually downplaying it, right? So you have characters that can crush mountains with their pinky, and they'll fight like, you know, the bad guy like Cell or something, and Cell is so tanky and strong that when they hit him, he doesn't even flinch. And you want to tell me Naruto can beat Cell, right? Like, there's no feat of strength in Naruto that's even comparable here, right? And this happens all the time with like Gundam, comic books, you know, Fate Stay Night, you name it. Where something is not subjective, you have very clear-cut abilities and powers, and like with Iron Man, right? You have pretty clear-cut stuff, what his technology can do and what it's been shown to be able to do and stuff. And it's clearly there's no time where Batman's technology has ever been like on par with what they show with Iron Man. That's not a thing. And it's the same thing with like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece, right? Like, are you kidding me? Right? Like, it's just silly. Now, there are some series out there that are, you know, very inconsistent and have plot armor everywhere, and like the power of the character's abilities goes up and down constantly because they have hack writers that don't know what they're doing. And at that point, then it doesn't really matter anymore. But that's really not most things. Most things are decently comparable, where it's like, okay, you can see how fast they're going, how, you know, how strong their laser beams are. Like in Gundam, like they don't even try to hide it. They clearly have different like universes with different levels of power, right? Some of the mechs and some of the Gundam series are pretty down to earth, kind of slow, you know, like their jets are kind of crappy and they can't maneuver very well and things like that. And like, you know, one shot from like a beam rifle will completely fuck them up. And then you have other Gundam universes where like the mechs are like zipping around like fucking necks from Armored Core, and they're tanking, you know, laser shots like it's nothing, and they got like giant beam cannons blowing up like cities and shit, right? This is, it's all subjective which Gundam's gonna win. It's like, no, it really isn't. You got some over here blowing up cities, and the other one's like, maybe blowing up a bunker. Oh man. You're fucking the gun tank gonna take down God Gundam, exactly. It's like, I don't fucking think so. Alright, I guess we switch out Spartacus here. Oh, I didn't bring the switch, Mr. Code. I guess we hit something with Spartacus here. That sucked. I cannot believe we didn't kill the first one there. Oh, the value has been lost. Oh, I'm so glad this man got an animation update. That animation he just did, that art attack, that's actually shared with George. They used the same skeleton work for one of George's attacks, which is super lazy, but thankfully it's kind of hard to notice, and it does fit both characters decently well. In both of them, it's a really exaggerated, kind of over-the-top melee attack anyway. But yeah, they find their ways to be lazy and reuse assets a lot in this game. I wish that was not the case, but it is what it is. It is weird seeing it like a normal attack animation shared like that, though. I guess I'm just gonna NP again. So I don't even know who that was, but somebody had never posted to my stream before, and the first thing they posted was a link and they got deleted by a bot. So I'm guessing that was like a spam bot or something. Good job, Moobot, murdering spam bots then. Feels good. That's kind of great, actually. Oh, I think the music might be looping. Yeah, we were just talking about Batman stuff. Here's some Batman Beyond music, which Batman Beyond is way cooler than regular Batman, by the way. And then, Memerlin with the gifted sub to Moobot. I guess Moobot deserves it at this point, really. I see some text in my chat right now that I'm not entirely sure I'm happy about. I see that. Finds his ways. Alright, well, I don't even need that Martha NP, but I'm doing it just cause. Yeah, Moobot deserves that gifted sub. Man, what year was Batman Beyond set in, by the way, because I bet you we're probably past whatever year it was. Although they never really put that much unrealistic, like futuristic technology in Batman Beyond. It was fairly grounded, so they did have like laser satellites. Okay, 2040. That's surprisingly reasonable for like the level of technology that these showed. I can buy that, because honestly, even though we don't have like laser satellites, for the most part, the technology these showed in that series compared to like real life technology is better. It's less flashy and less sci-fi, but like our real life technology is better than what they were showing, and that's fucking 2040. So they're actually like they're behind, man. They gotta up their game. Pretty rare that you say that though. Most shows that put like near future, they go over the top. Yeah, Mr. Freeze in Batman Beyond, that was a good continuation though of his character though, so that was nice. All right, boys, I think we'll wrap up there. I can do some bonus stream though. I could do a little Dark Souls today. I think I got enough gas. I've been feeling better these last few days. It's actually been nice, and I've been getting okay sleep, so kind of digging that. That's enough Lostbelt 3 for today. I wonder if we can get Lostbelt 3 finished though within like a day or two, and then have enough time to do Lostbelt 4. I doubt it, especially because the end of Lostbelt 3 is probably going to be a bit of an issue, and then Lostbelt 4's got some hard fights. So it'll probably have to be after 6.5, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get. I'm really excited though to roll for Asclepius. Anyway, for those of you that are just here for FGO, thank you for hanging out. I think we are done for today, and I'm gonna switch over to a bit of Dark Souls 3 shenanigans. Give me a minute though to change my stream title and all that kind of stuff. Might not stream as long today though, just because I'm pretty tired, but not too bad, so we shall see. I always forget to have Steam up so I can just start Dark Souls 3 when we're switching over here. Shut up, fucking big picture mode. Trying to spam to get me to set up the controller thing, which I don't want to do because it's shit. Alright, let me reset the stream real fast so the VODs are separated. I will be right back.